If you are sitting there holding out hope that Jason is finally going to step away from the mob and live a peaceful life with his family, I am here to tell you to prepare for a brutal, devastating reality check. The canvas of Port Charles is an absolute disaster zone right now, and the chaos is only breeding more tragedy. We have watched Jason swear up and down that his time in the criminal underworld has finally come to an end. He looked Danny directly in the eye and promised that he was prioritizing him, choosing the light over the darkness after years of violence. Meanwhile, Carly is drowning in an endless sea of anxiety, desperately trying to pull Josslyn out of the treacherous web of the WSB. The board is set for a massive collision, and the stakes have literally never been higher for these legendary characters. Let us dive deep into the absolute nightmare that is currently unfolding for Carly. If you ask me, there is nothing more terrifying for a mother than watching her child walk willingly into a death trap. Josslyn is not just playing spy games, she is actively working under the sinister, manipulative control of Jack. We all know the WSB is a den of vipers, but Jack is the most venomous snake of them all. He is manipulating Josslyn, using her impressive skills for his own dark, twisted agenda, and placing her directly in the line of fire. Carly has already endured the jaw-dropping twist of losing a child. The grief of losing Morgan nearly destroyed her soul, and the mere thought of history repeating itself with Josslyn is pushing Carly to the absolute brink of insanity. She is a woman on the edge, staring into the abyss of her worst fears. Josslyn is completely blind to the true, lethal nature of the assignments Jack is handing her. She thinks she is doing noble work, serving a higher purpose, but we all know the WSB operates in the murky, blood-soaked gray areas of international espionage. Jack is using her as a human shield, throwing her into volatile situations where one wrong move means instant death. Carly watches her daughter leave the house, never knowing if it will be the last time she sees her alive. The constant, agonizing stress is eating away at Carly's sanity, transforming her from a worried mother into a desperate, cornered animal. When a mother is backed into a corner with her child's life on the line, there is absolutely nothing she won't do to neutralize the threat. Carly is a fiercely protective lioness, and she is absolutely not going to sit back and watch Jack treat her daughter like a disposable pawn on a chessboard. She has pleaded, she has demanded, and she has raged against the machine, but Jack stubbornly refuses to release Josslyn from her dangerous spy duties. Every single day that Josslyn remains under Jack's thumb is another day she could end up in a body bag. Carly is connecting the dots, and the devastating realization is washing over her. Jack is the true architect of this danger. He is the puppet master pulling the strings, and as long as he is breathing, Josslyn will never truly be safe. The desperation in Carly's eyes is palpable, a terrifying storm brewing just beneath the surface of her usually composed exterior. But that's not even the craziest part. The craziest part is that Carly is preparing to cross a line she can never ever uncross. We have seen Carly scheme, we have seen her manipulate, and we have seen her break the law to protect her own, but premeditated murder. That is a whole new level of darkness, even for her. Carly has decided that the only way to sever the strings controlling Josslyn is to cut off the puppet master's hands entirely. She is actively plotting to eliminate Jack, once and for all. She knows that if she fails, she will lose everything, but in her mind, a mother's sacrifice knows absolutely no bound. She is willing to trade her own freedom, her own soul, to ensure that Josslyn gets to live a long, safe, and happy life. Carly is meticulously planning a lethal strike, completely unaware of the massive ripple effects her actions will cause across town. You can literally feel the tension radiating off the screen as Carly prepares to execute her deadly, unforgiving plan. She is operating in the shadows, masking her murderous intent behind a facade of frantic motherly concern. She is gathering the necessary resources, finding the perfect moment to strike when Jack is most vulnerable and unsuspecting. Carly truly believes she is acting alone, that she is the sole protector of her family's future and legacy. She is ready to pull the trigger, ready to watch the light fade from Jack's eyes if it means Josslyn is finally free from the WSB's grasp. The sheer weight of this impending doom is suffocating, and the long-buried secret she is creating is enough to wreak devastation on everyone she loves. But that's not even the craziest part. The absolute bombshell here is that Jason is always, without fail, one step ahead of everyone else. Jason knows Carly better than she knows herself. He can read her micro-expressions, he can sense the dangerous shift in her energy, and he knows exactly what she is capable of when her children are threatened by outside forces. Jason uncovers Carly's lethal plot before she can even make her first physical move. He pieces together the subtle clues, the hushed phone calls, the desperate, wild glints in her eyes, and he realizes with horrifying clarity that Carly is about to commit cold-blooded murder. Jason knows that if Carly goes through with this reckless plan, she will inevitably be caught by the authorities. She will spend the rest of her life behind bars in Pentonville, and the family will be shattered beyond repair. Now, you might think Jason would confront Carly, shake her by the shoulders, and talk her off the ledge. He could lock her in a secure room until the overwhelming urge to kill passes. But Jason is a man of action, not words. He knows that talking won't cure Carly's deep-seated terror. As long as Jack is alive and breathing, Carly will constantly be looking for a way to take him down. So, Jason makes a silent, chilling vow to himself. He will not let Carly ruin her life. He will not let her hands get stained with Jack's blood. Instead, Jason decides to take the massive burden upon himself. He will be the one to orchestrate Jack's untimely demise. He will carry this dark, unforgivable sin so Carly never has to carry the guilt. But that's not even the craziest part. The sheer magnitude of what Jason is about to do is absolutely staggering. He slips seamlessly back into the shadows, instantly reverting to the lethal, cold-blooded enforcer we all know and fear. Jason tracks Jack down, cornering the arrogant WSB director in a secluded, soundproof location where no one can hear him scream for help. Imagine the sheer terror of that scene, guys. Jack, full of his usual smug, untouchable confidence, suddenly realizing he is trapped in a room with the most dangerous, relentless man in Port Charles. Jason doesn't monologue. He doesn't offer any dramatic explanations or apologies. His eyes are dead, cold, and entirely focused on the violent mission at hand. Jack thought he was safe, wrapped in the protective armor of the WSB, but Jason is a ghost who plays by his own brutal, uncompromising rules. The physical confrontation is swift, brutal, and utterly silent. Jason eliminates Jack with the cold, calculated precision of a master assassin who has spent decades perfecting his deadly craft. There is no hesitation in his movements, no remorse in his heart, just the mechanical execution of a severe threat to Carly and Josslyn's safety. Jason watches Jack take his final, agonizing breath, knowing that with this single act of extreme violence, he has permanently altered the trajectory of all their lives. The blood is officially on Jason's hands now. He has crossed the very line he swore to Danny he would never, ever cross again. The beautiful promise of a peaceful, civilian life is dead on the floor right next to Jack's lifeless, broken body. But Jason doesn't just stop at committing the murder. He is a professional cleaner, a man who knows how to make problems disappear permanently. He meticulously disposes of Jack's body, erasing every single microscopic trace of the WSB director's existence from the face of the earth. He expertly wipes the security footage, sterilizes the crime scene with harsh chemicals, and makes it look as though Jack simply vanished into thin air without a trace. Jason ensures that there is absolutely no evidence tying him or Carly to the sudden disappearance. When the WSB inevitably comes looking for their missing director, they will find nothing but ghosts, dead ends, and unanswered questions. Jason orchestrates the perfect crime, wrapping it in a long-buried secret that he fully intends to take to his grave. But that's not even the craziest part. Jason justifies this horrific act to himself by believing he is the ultimate sign-eater for the people he loves. He tells himself that his soul is already permanently stained, so what is one more murder if it keeps Carly pure? Jason has always been the shield that stands between his loved ones and the brutal realities of their world. But this time, the dynamic is deeply twisted. By keeping this massive, bloody secret from Carly, he is stripping away her agency. He is making decisions about life and death on her behalf, playing a dangerous game of God in the shadows. Jason believes he is acting out of pure, unadulterated love, but the reality is that his love has mutated into something dark, possessive, and incredibly dangerous. The most jaw-dropping twist of this entire chaotic storyline is the profound, terrifying, psychological shift within Jason himself. He looked Sonny in the eye and told him he was out of the business. He told Danny he was completely done with the violence and the danger, but as he washes Jack's blood from his calloused hands, Jason realizes a terrifying, inescapable truth. He can never truly leave the darkness behind. The criminal underworld is woven directly into his DNA. By secretly murdering Jack to protect Carly, Jason acknowledges that he is still the enforcer, still the ruthless killer operating in the shadows. He may wear the comforting mask of a reformed family man in the daylight, but when the sun goes down, he is the monster that keeps the dangerous wolves at bay. If you ask me, this changes absolutely everything we thought we knew about Jason's current era on the show. He is no longer just Sonny's loyal, obedient soldier. He is rapidly evolving into a secret, autonomous villain. Jason is operating completely off the grid, executing lethal justice without Sonny's permission, blessing, or knowledge. He is lying to everyone who loves him. He is lying to Danny about being a good, changed man. He is lying to Sonny about leaving the mob life behind. And most tragically, he is lying to Carly, who will never, ever know the horrific, bloody lengths Jason went to just to keep her hands clean and her conscience clear. Jason is becoming a dangerous rogue operative, a dark guardian angel who is willing to commit the most heinous sins imaginable to protect his loved ones. The devastation this will inevitably wreak on Port Charles is unimaginable. What happens when the WSB sends their most ruthless, relentless agents to tear the town apart looking for Jack? What happens when Carly, believing Jack just ran away or went deep undercover, starts digging into his mysterious disappearance? And the most terrifying, explosive question of all, what happens when Sonny finally realizes that Jason is operating a secret, lethal shadow mob right under his nose? The ticking time bomb has been planted, the timer is counting down fast, and Jason is standing right at ground zero holding the detonator. When this explosive secret finally detonates, who will be left standing in the rubble, and who will be destroyed forever?